All right, I've got a real bone to pick with Adobe right now. Every time we get like major updates, there's always little things that break. And in the last update, it was markers that were breaking. They would just like delete themselves. And it was a huge fiasco for me, given that I was working on some big projects where I relied on markers. This time, it's audio previews. So if I go to project settings and scratch disks, as always, audio previews and video previews are on their own dedicated SSD. That's the H/scratch here. And that is where they are supposed to go. And if I go to H/scratch, Adobe Premiere Audio Previews, the current project I'm working on is Plex users. There are peak files here. They are being updated. But if you go to the actual folder for the project that I am working on, which is right here, there's audio previews here as well. And the issue is it doesn't seem to want to stay with the project settings folder. It keeps putting them here, and there is an issue where if I have a video playing, when I close and reopen Premiere, or like, I think it's if I have a YouTube video playing in the background when I open Premiere, it like can't hook my audio device for some reason. And despite the fact that all the audio is here, and, you know, the previews are generated and yada yada, it won't play audio back to my system devices. It's not muted, it's not, all the audio devices are correct, it doesn't say they're not working, it just won't play audio to it. And it's not the solo unsolo bug. I've tried that. It's not that. It's just, it won't play audio to my system devices. And it can take up to 9 times of relaunching Adobe Premiere for that to happen. And when I do so, and actually, I'm going to risk doing that right here. I'm going to go ahead and close Premiere. When I do so, the waveforms of my audio files are gone, and I have to regenerate them. And that's when it starts putting it back in the source folder, I believe, of the project, instead of the actual scratched location that I tell it to go, which is a big problem. And then whenever I reload the project again, those previews aren't there because it's looking in the wrong spot. That's not the updated previews. Something about this is broken. I don't have a solution. This is just how I report these things, but something about that just is not working correctly. You can see here it generated a new logs folder as well. All right, I'm going to have this playing.
So this is a product that should theoretically work with any kind of device out there. And, well, from what I've tested, it does. Now, here's the
By the way, if you don't know who Dave Lee is, he makes good videos. Go check him out. He's a nice guy. All right. So we have our project here. You can see at the bottom bar, it's not conforming anything. It's not loading anything new. And my waveforms are gone. It's as if it even has a red line, as if my audio has been deleted. Now I'm playing, and there's no volume going to my system devices anymore. If I go to Open Volume Mixer, here you usually see playback. So if I play the video,
what is it, right? Like, how good
you see it playing in Chrome.
Especially
there is, minimize Chrome. There is nothing playing. The video is playing. It shows the waveforms bouncing in the audio meters, but there is nothing going to Windows system devices here. And again, there's no previews. And if I go to Edit, Preferences, Audio Hardware, I've tried changing the devices a bunch, yada yada. It's on the correct one, it knows they're there, and changing them doesn't help. And then if I go to Render Audio, it will render those audio previews and give me some of my waveforms back. You can see it's still not wanting to render that one for some reason. Like, it won't even try re-rendering them again. That just doesn't have any audio previews anymore. Won't even let me record audio. That's a little bizarre. Never even had that happen. And if we check the project file, if we refresh, now the audio previews are going to this one. It's been updated. If I go to Scratch Audio Previews Plex Users, it's updating both at the same time or something. It's just having a real hard time. And I'm really frustrated. And even though I rendered previews, it's still not actually playing any audio to my computer. I'm getting really frustrated. It's just little things like this that keep adding up that I'm getting really frustrated by, but I wanted to document what exactly is happening because I've complained about it on Twitter a few times and never really had a visual example to go with it. So here you go. Adobe, please fix. I feel like on my gravestone when I die, I'm going to have engraved on my tombstone, Adobe, please fix.